Marie-Ange. Je viens.
Tu viens? Il vient. Nous venons. Vous venez.
Ils viennent. They are coming. Next week, Michel and Marie-Ange will be showing more doing words at the zoo, au Jardin Zoologique. And now...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome to Who Dares Wins.
Look, I'm sorry to stop the show. Now, I don't want to be a killjoy or anything, but I feel I must point out at this moment that I had absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with that blatant piece of sexual exploitation that you saw just now before the credits. I didn't write it, and I was totally opposed to it being in the show. And
Tony, what the fuck? What are you doing?
I'm just explaining to these people that the decision to turn this week's show into a blatantly opportunistic bit of sexist ratings grabbings was nothing to do with me whatsoever.
Listen, Tony, ladies and gentlemen, listen, that first piece of film, right, we engaged 2 professional actors to do a professional acting job, which they did. Then afterwards, we filmed them having it off.
Rory, Tony, that's why I'm so totally opposed to it, because 1, it exploits the audience, right? And 2, it manipulates the artists who take part in it, and 3...
They wouldn't let you be in it.
I didn't want to be in it.
You auditioned for it.
That's not the point,
Listen,
Rory.
he auditioned for that part, but we thought we'd give it to Yvonne instead.
That's rubbish, Rory. It's just cheap exploitation.
Educational.
It was rubbish.
Educational. So you saw the film. What's the French for to come?
Venir.
You are?
What's the French for patronising sexist crap?
Pardon, je ne
Shut up, you! Tony, it was tasteful, it was lyrical, it was educational, and in fact, people interested in learning French might be keen on the 2.5-hour uncut video version, which is available in my dressing room after the show.
You see, it's just commercial exploitation, isn't it? Honestly, Rory, if we're going to do stuff like that, we might just as well go poking around people's dirty old dustbins.
Tony, brilliant. Jim.
Thank you. Well, now it's time for Celebrity Dustbin. We've been out and about on the streets of London nicking the dustbins of famous people. Pretty cheap trick, isn't it? Anyway, over here we've got Princess Margaret's bin bag. Just the usual stuff in there, you know, lemonade bottles. We did hope to bring you the contents of the model Vicky Hodges' bin, but she's already sold them to the Sunday People, so we couldn't. We do have here the Archbishop of Canterbury's bin. Don't go looking around the back, Archbishop. It's here. Let's see what's inside. Always very revealing. McDonald's. Betting slip. Oh, there you are. Jar of Vaseline in there. It's a man of the cloth, do you mind? And, what's this? It's a dead goat with a pentangle round it. Probably just hedging his bets. Well, that's all from me. Next week we'll be showing you the contents of Pope John Paul's septic tank. Okay? Bye.
Thank you, Jimmy. And continuing our attempts to boost the ratings, we'll be bringing you later in the show our new panel game for cocaine users called Where's My Line? And Prince Charles will be dropping by with his Ouija board and will be making a brave attempt to cross the great void and contact Mark Phillips. But first, as research has shown that the average human attention span is only 7 minutes, you'll be seeing more of that next time you're dropping off. Rory.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, lowering the tone even further, we have someone rather special with us. He's Mr. Daniel Godber from Bracknell. He's an entertainer with a difference. He's not a singer, he's not a comedian, he's not a magician. What is it, in fact, you do, Daniel?
I'm a rabbi spotter.
He's a rabbi spotter. And what exactly does that entail there, Daniel?
Well, Rory, I can spot a rabbi using only my eyes in a crowd of ordinary people.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely amazing? Do we want to see that? Do we want to see him do it? Do we want to see that? Yes, we do. Yes, okay. So what we've done, we've been a little bit naughty. We have concealed a rabbi somewhere in our studio audience, and we're going to ask Daniel to spot that rabbi. But so if you just like to turn away, could our third row all stand up, please? Stand up. Okay. Okay, they're ready for you now, Daniel. But I'm going to be a little bit naughty. To make it more difficult, I've got this blindfold, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to put it on. So Daniel Godber, you have 30 seconds to spot that rabbi.
It's him.
Which one?
The one dressed as a rabbi.
Well, let's see if you're right. Hands up, our real rabbi. Oh, look at that. Yes, I'm afraid our entire audience is made up of a party from the Rabbinical School of North London Hebraic Studies. You see, while you're here, I'd just like to tell you a little Jewish joke. It's gone better, that joke.
Next time, try it from right to left.
That's a good idea.
Is that the door, darling?
No, I don't think so. Have you got, Mr. Bun the Baker?
Nope. Have you got Master Sawdust the Carpenter's son? Happy families, happy families. There I got Mr. Sawdust the Carpenter, Mrs. Sawdust the Carpenter's wife, Miss Sawdust, Master Sawdust,
All right,
3 sets to
darling,
1 I'm leading.
Carol, don't crow, darling. It's just a bloody game.
Temper, temper. It's my go.
Yep.
Have you got Mr. Bribe the policeman?
No, darling, I'm afraid I haven't. Have you got, Mr. Bastard the traffic warden?
Nope. Have you got Mr. Scab the miner?
Bloody hell.
Happy families, happy families. I've got all the minor families.
Trump.
Trump, you can't trump in happy families.
Mr. McGregor, the overpaid geriatric.
Oh, come on. If you're gonna cheat, it's not worth playing.
All right, darling, all right, it's all right. I've got a set. All right, I've got the bankers. Miss Money, Master Money, Mr. Money the banker, and Mrs. Soldier.
Mrs. Soldier? It's not a set with Mrs. Soldier in it.
Oh, Mr. Soldier's away in Germany for 6 months. I mean, you know, what do you expect Mrs. Soldier to do? These things go on, darling. You know what happens as well as I do.
Yes, darling, actually, I do know what goes on, actually.
I'm sorry, Carol. What did you mean by that, love?
Nothing.
Good.
Perhaps you've got Miss Osborne, the new personal assistant.
I don't suppose you've got Mr. Bulge, the aerobics teacher, twice a week?
This is ridiculous. You're just getting incensed because I'm beating you at a simple child's game.
Carol, cobblers.
Mr. Shoemaker, Mrs. Shoemaker, Master Shoemaker, Mrs. Shoemaker.
Very funny. Don't be so bloody childish.
You wake the baby.
We haven't got a baby.
Exactly.
Carol? Is that what all this fuss is about, love? Do you want a baby?
You know I do.
Oh, love. Hey, I'm sorry. Hey. Anne, I'm very sorry. Okay. Mr. Baby, the nursery school teacher.
This is Tim. Tim is only 12 years old. And listening to Tim there, you are probably all thinking one thing. This lad hasn't yet reached puberty. His voice hasn't broken, his chin hasn't come out in spots, and he's still wearing short trousers. But, and this is the exciting thing, it has been predicted by our resident team of experts that Tim will reach puberty during the course of this very program. Another first, we think, for Who Dares Wins. So, stay tuned and keep a close eye on Babyface here. Oh, is that a blackhead? Oh. No, just a bit of chocolate, false alarm. You're right, Tim. Not feeling tearful at all? Got a crush on me? Well, we'll be coming back to Tim.
My name is Karol Stanisławi Stajniewicz. I am Polish citizen living in this country as a voluntary exile, having fled the oppression, the dejection, the hopeless strife and turmoil to which my native country has become an innocent victim. To all my fellow countrymen living here, I have one message. Eat at Stanislav's Polish restaurant, 52 the High Street, Guildford. The last word in cabbage soup. Zdrowie.
And now on Who Dares Wins, it's time for the Wheel of Truth.
Thank you very much. And now is the time of the show when we spin the Wheel of Truth. There it goes.
Yes, the Wheel of Truth, ladies and gentlemen, on which we've put the names of 12 male members of our studio audience.
So now let's see who will play the truth game. It's
Ian Davidson.
Ian Davidson. Where is he tonight, Ian?
Well,
there
he is.
Yes.
Well, what we've done is we've been a little bit naughty. What we've done, we've asked your wife before the show to list your most irritating personal habits.
The envelope, please. We just said to her, just jot down what first thing that comes into your head. We'll just read out the first few. Irritating personal habits of Ian Davidson. Saying, he used to be in Z cars every time Brian Blessed comes on television.
Snoring while you're making love.
Oh, Ian. Frightening the cat by dangling it over the chip pan.
Bringing home young soldiers and saying it's your long-lost cousin.
Very irritating. And worst of all, according to your wife, you sick man, starting conversations with taxi drivers.
You know the trouble with this country? It's the blokes. You know what they say? They say they're better athletes. They reckon they run faster. Ones I run over. Deaf on bloody wheel. Bloody cyclists. No, I really hate though. It's the Americans. And the Japanese. And the Armenians, Tibetans, Kuwaitans, Norwegians, Nicaraguans, and Austrians. Particularly the Austrians. You know what they do? They wear hats with feathers in them, and that really pisses me off. Bloody cyclists. No, who else I really hate? No, it's them Greeks. God, they're so filthy, even the Austrians won't talk to them. And mean, tight as a duck's arse. Mind you, I don't like ducks much either, but the Greeks. Oh, they're so mean, they notice when you shortchange them. And something else, they're so bloody oily, they leave grease marks all over the cab when you knock them over. Bleeding liberty. Not like the Albanians, mind you. I'll tell you one thing for free. I've never had an Albanian in my cab. And that really pisses me off. I mean, how do they expect me to earn a living, bastards? Mind you, I'm no racialist. I don't like the British much either. Human beings, they are. I can't stand them. You could get a bloody bus through there, mate. Bleeding bus drivers. Yeah, human beings and animals. Them and wood. Can't stand wood. Really pisses me off, that does. I'll tell you what, I've never had a tree in my cab. And I'll tell you something else.
I'm sorry, darling. It's not going to work out. You see, the fact is, I'm just not good enough for you. You'd be amazed how many men will fall for that kind of crap. But, you know, it's one of the best ways of disposing of unwanted boyfriends. Now, I've had a lot of posts this week from female viewers talking about their personal problems like the pill, the menopause, but mostly about relationships and how to terminate them. So, with the help of Tony here...
Hi.
I'm going to illustrate just a few ways of dealing with this rather tricky problem. Now, there's always the cruel to be kind approach, such as, I'm sorry, darling, but you're about as much fun as a bout of shingles. Now, he'll probably come back with...
You don't mean that.
Which is when you present him with this, a petition supporting your view and signed by 50 of his closest friends.
That's my mum.
Now, if that doesn't work, then it's time for the scare tactics. Like, darling, I'm pregnant.
Oh, that's wonderful.
By a Libyan terrorist.
I'll stick by you.
Who's just died of tertiary syphilis. This should see him off. But what happens, you may ask, if you reach that dreaded, sticky moment when he's...
Can't live without you.
Or even...
I'll kill myself.
I mean, whatever you do, don't fall for it, okay? Just give him this brochure by exit and lots of these. Now, next week, ladies, I'll be talking to you about sexual harassment and how to go about it.
I love you.
Yes, Tony, thank you. We've finished now.
I can't live without you, Julian.
Tony, we finished.
I dreamt about you again last night.
Yeah, well, we're all under a lot of pressure, Tony.
It's not just physical.
Rory!
Thank you. And now it's time for some more of that Give 'em What They Want television. So will you welcome, please, our master escapologist, Mr. Danny Robertson, and his dog, Prince. Great of you to come on the show, Dan. What are you going to do for us tonight?
Well, what I'll be doing tonight, Rory, as you see, I'll be getting in the tank there, yeah, with these chains and that, yeah, for them, yeah.
And they are cast iron, ladies and gentlemen. These are cast iron chains.
Yeah. And then, using all my secret skills, I'll be freeing myself in just 4 minutes. Yeah.
In 8 feet of water.
2 feet of water, yeah.
Yeah. And what about the dog, Prince?
Oh, he comes with me everywhere.
Right. Now, of course, Dan, this trick will be doubly dangerous because, in fact, You've got a wooden leg, haven't you? The wooden leg, yeah.
This means he tends to float upside down in the water, which makes it more difficult for him to pick the locks. Now, am I right in thinking that this stunt has only been attempted once, Dan? What? Anyway, the bloke drowned. But not to worry, because we've taken every possible safety precaution tonight for you, Danny. So off you go with Jimmy.
Okay, mate. Don't worry, it'll go like a dream. Touch wood, eh?
So there he goes, and he's doing it all for charity, ladies and gentlemen, all for charity, because we have sponsored him. And if he is successful in the stunt, £4.25 will go to a charity of his choice. So why not join us after the break to see how he gets on? So tension is building here. You ready? Ready, Jim?
Yeah, I've got Prince here.
Okay.
In you go, Prince.
Oh.
Okay. Learn, in you go.
There they go. Join us after the break.
Yes.
This week's cause for concern comes to you from Carshalton. This is the busy A627, and just behind me here is an old people's home. This is Simon Bentley of Aged Care. Simon, just what is the cause for concern here?
Well, Julia, it's this pelican crossing here, which allows a crossing time of just 4.7 seconds. Now, this means that the old folk from the home here really have to shift if they want to make it to the other side of the road. Now, as a result, there have been some terrible accidents. Some of them, like that one, fatal. You see, it's an appalling situation.
Just how many of the old people have been knocked down?
Well, about 1 in 10 actually make it to the other side. Well, that old boy didn't, you see, and I'm afraid he's only too typical. You see, what we need from the authorities is decisive action. And all we've had so far is talk. I mean, talk is very easy, isn't it?
I understand you've lobbied the Minister of Transport.
Yes, we have. But so far... So far, all we've had are the additional road signs that they've erected.
An urgent problem. Very much a cause for concern. This is Julia Soames on the A627, Carshalton. Is that okay? Fine? Right, well, thanks, Simon. That was great. That was very good. Thank you very much. Oh, God, there goes another one.
Second time this week, isn't it?
This boy, I bet you'll never make it.
He's quite nippy on his feet, George.
No.
I'll give you 3-1 against.
You're on.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Off you go, my son. Come on, my son.
I told you.
Just trip his
it's a
ankles.
rover that got him in the
I
end.
know, yeah.
Well, since the series started, we've been very lucky to have a lot of very, very nice letters sent in. I'd like to read this one out to you. Dear Who Dares, I think you're wonderful and brilliant. I would love to be involved in your show in any capacity. I'll do the lights, I'll do the sound, I'll make the tea, I'll even massage your backs. I'll do anything, just please give me a job. Yours sincerely, Jim Pryor. So anyway, let's see how Tim, our boy on the brink of puberty, is getting on. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, a breakthrough. Stop, please, stop. False alarm, false alarm. Tim, what is this, for God's sake? Come on. We've only got 20 minutes left. Any urge to shoplift? Oh, sorry, that's menopause. Look, just concentrate, all right?
What the Tory press have conveniently forgotten to tell us in all the jingoistic furore over the great British invention of the talking car is exactly what these things are going to talk about. I mean, you don't seriously think that Thatcher has crammed the family runabout with sophisticated electronics just so it can advise the working class when it should pull in for a piss? Of course not. The day is fast approaching when the exponents of the truncheon kidney treatment, or to give them their official title, the pigs, won't have to skulk around gay bars to get a conviction. They'll just wait until you're tucked up in bed, they will sneak into your garage and take down a full statement from the latest British Leyland Quisling GX Turbo, which after it's grassed on you will be given a completely new identity and a totally new body so it can laze away the rest of its days as a beach buggy in Malibu. I mean, what are you, blind?
Okay. We're talking New Aftershave, we're talking Butch, we're talking Macho. Lenny.
Yes, Benny.
A name.
Rut.
We've had it. Jenny.
Yes, Benny?
Name.
Grunt.
Had it. Kenny?
Cheers.
Had it.
What about...
We've had it. Look, I just want a name. Give me a name.
I've got it. Mastodon.
What?
Do what?
Mastodon, it's a kind of prehistoric elephant.
Oh, terrific. A prehistoric elephant. That's terrific,
Yeah,
isn't
but
it?
actually research has shown that men wear aftershave to allay an atavistic guilt feeling because they're not very hairy anymore, like they were in prehistoric times.
Bollocks.
I like it.
Yeah, so do I. Mastodon. It's a great name, Jenny.
No, bollocks. I like bollocks. Bollocks for men.
Yeah, it's Triff.
All right, so what are we going to call it?
Bollocks.
Now, we've had bollocks. You're fired.
Oh, thank you, Benny.
Don't mention it. Send the next one in there, Lenny.
Kenny!
Jenny, I'm very, very pleased with what you're doing round here. I'm thinking of moving you upstairs.
Upstairs, Benny.
Yeah, I'm going to let you sleep with me.
Thank you, Benny.
Don't mention it.
Hi, I'm Denny.
Right. Okay, then. Okay, Danny. Well, new aftershave. We're talking special new fragrance.
Right, hit me.
It's sweat, Denny.
Oh, terrific. An aftershave smelling of sweat.
No, it is sweat.
We're first on the UK market with it, Denny, and we've signed up Eamon Andrews.
He's promoting it?
No, he's producing it by the gallon. Right, come on, a name.
What about, sweat?
Pterodactyl?
No.
Muscle.
Muscle. Brilliant.
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 All those in favour of muscle, raise their right hands. Are you against any?
No, my jewellery's so heavy I can't lift my arms up.
Fair enough. Can you send a typical cross-section of the British public in here, please? Right, love. Now, what I want is I want you to say the first thing that comes into your head, all right? Muscle.
Prawn.
Yeah, muscle's got a pound in here. Right.
Muscles out.
Yeah.
While I'm here, if you need anyone to say my dog will eat anything you like, I'm the one. I mean, I'd even buy a dog.
all
I've
right.
always wanted to be on telly, and ever since her number 13 did
all right,
understage,
all right,
she's been
yeah.
acting like bloody royalty.
Look. All I want is a new, dynamic, essentially male name for this product.
Plonker.
We could always use a French name.
Le Plonker. For 50 seconds of faithful service, you're fired. Piss off. Thank you, Denny.
Don't mention it, Danny.
I could always say my sheets are wedding white.
Will you get out? I should never marry that woman.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Benny.
Who are you?
Bartholomew?
You're fired.
Thank you, Benny.
Don't mention it. Kenny?
Cheers.
You're fired. Oh, Jenny, by the way,
You're Benny.
you're fired as well.
Oh, thank you, Benny.
And so is Benny.
But you're Benny, Benny.
I know I'm Benny, Jenny, but if Benny said a...
Listen, how about
Okay,
Brontosaurus, Benny?
okay, no, I don't want...
Say
I'm
the
not
tooth
interested.
tight,
I'm
Benny.
not
I don't
interested.
understand.
If you're interested in a career in advertising, just write to this address, the Reptile House, London Zoo, NW1. Thank you. Thank you very much. On the first day of the journey, I was looking at all the life, plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. On the second day of the journey, I was looking at all the life, plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. On the third day of the journey, I was looking at all the life, plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. I've been through the desert on a horse with no legs. We didn't get very far.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay.
All right. Have you grown at all?
No.
Stand up, let's have a look. Short ass. The link between the conscious and the subconscious mind is an extremely complex one. When we speak, we're conscious of what we say, but often the actual vocabulary is a completely different set of values, priorities, and obsessions locked away in our subconscious. It was Sigmund Freud who recognized the significance of these verbal contradictions, and such phenomena are now commonly known as Freudian slips. You see, often when conversing about quite mundane matters, the mind will think of something it wants to suppress, like sex, and of course there I did mean to say bottom. And oh, by the way, one mustn't put too much weight on a simple mistake like the one I just made. It doesn't necessarily mean I've got an obsession with behinds. These mechanical slips of the bum are clearly distinct from Freudian clits, and shouldn't be a cause for embarrassment. We must just crotch what we say and keep an open legs. Sorry. Of course, there I should have said mind. Mind what we say and keep an open legs on the subject. I, for example, have a lot of trouble with the word erect. Instead of erect, I tend to say erect. In fact, I haven't used the erect pronunciation for years. And talking about cock-ups, these psychological faux pas are a particular hazard for those in the public stare. For example, had I a private obsession in the public stare, I might have said pubic hair, but I didn't. So it's obviously an area in which I have absolutely no stubble at all. So how are these mistakes made? Well, sometimes Freudian shits are suggested by the turd itself. Sometimes by having your end away the word wrong round, and sometimes they just come out of the grapefruit. But now into Julia. Sorry, over to Julia's hills. Pills. Not pills. Thank you.
I just burst on here
Yes.
to announce something I think the audience here should know about. Today is not any ordinary day. Today is our Tony's birthday. And we wouldn't normally do this for anybody, but I think we'll all agree, and I think you might as well, that Tony's one of the nicest blokes you could wish to work with. So I hope you don't mind if you just indulge us and join in with us a rousing chorus of happy birthday to Tony, okay?
All together.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you. Speech.
My birthday's tomorrow, actually.
You always spoil everything, don't you? Up all night baking this cake. You know, sometimes I really hate you.
Shall we just have a break?
Thanks very much. Well, now it's time for our celebrity interview spot. In our first show, you may remember, we had Paul McCartney here with us. Last week, we had the versatile film and TV actor Martin Jarvis. This week, we return to the world of popular music and talk to a man who is, without doubt, a legend. So will you welcome, please, all the way from Los Angeles, Mr. Frank Sinatra. Hello, Frank. Hey, Frank, it's Rory. Who dares? How are you? Great to have you on the show, Frank. He says it's great to be on the show. How are you, Frank, anyway? He's fine. Frank's fine. Frank's fine. Yeah, hey, sorry, Frank. Sorry, can I hear machine gun fire in the background? Oh, you got a few relatives dropped in. I see. Frank, are you all right? Pissed. You did what? A party at Barbara Streisand's house. A whole bottle of champagne. Between 87 of you. She didn't. Meryl Streep threw up. What, at the party? On telly? What did telly do? Yes, I suppose it does wipe off easier. Orson Welles, he's there now. Put him on. Orson Welles. Orson, you big fat bugger. Hey. What? Hey, where were you Sunday morning? 3/4 of an hour we waited, yeah. No, we played with 10 men in the end. Yeah. 2-0. Okay, see you. Frank. Hey, Frank, put another 25 cents in, Frank. That's it. Hey, look, hang on. There's a lot of people want to ask you a few questions, so just hang on. Who wants to talk to Frank Sinatra? Quick! Who wants to talk? Come on, talk to Frank Sinatra. Quick! It's Frank Sinatra! He's only put 25 cents in. Quick. Sit down. Okay, Frank, here's something for you.
Alex.
What's he saying?
No.
What's he saying? What did he say? What does he say? Thank you, Alex. We better go. Frank, please, come on. She's only young. Yeah, okay, Frank. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, she's actually quite younger than you obviously thought. Yeah. Okay, look, great to have you on the show, Frank. He says it's great to have been on the show. Yeah, I'll get you a big hand. Big hand for Frank Sinatra. Yeah, okay. Well, tell you what I'll do. I'll ring you back, Frank. I'll ring you back. Give me a number. Hang on. Pen and paper. Quick. Pen and paper. Give me a pen and paper. Quick. He's giving... Get up. I've got a pen and paper. He's giving me the number. Quick. I've got a pen and paper. Quick. Hang on, Frank. Have you got a... Thank you very much. Frank Sinatra. Never mind, I'll introduce my next guest, one of the country's top stand-up comedians, Clubland's brightest new star. Welcome, please, Mr. Wayne Powell.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Lovely audience. Hey. Have you seen them? Hey, have you seen stand-up comedians? Aren't they a funny lot, Hey. Have you heard? Come here, lovely audience. Shut that door, please yourselves. Nice to see you. Nice. Hey, come here. Have you heard the one about the Englishman, the Irishman, the Scotsman, and little Jewish fella? Have you heard that one? Have you? Hey. I have. Hey, boom. It's the way I tell him, isn't it? Hey, it's a cracker, that one. Hey, come here. Hey, shut that door. Hey, please yourselves. I see you. See you guys, lovely audience. Come here. Have you seen my wife? My wife is so fat. She's so fat, I think she's got a malfunction of the pituitary gland. Hey, boom. Hey, that's a cracker, isn't it? It's the way I tell him. Isn't it? Hey, come here. Come here. Hey, please yourself. Shut that door. Lovely audience. Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my wife? Hey. Have you? Hey. I haven't. Not since you ran off with my agent, you see. Boom. It's the way I tell him, isn't it? But here's the funny thing. Come here. Here's the funny thing. We're getting a divorce. Hey, boom. But this is the killer. There's children involved. Hey, Bob, hey, it's the way I tell them. Come here. Pubs, missus, pubs. You've been to pubs. Pubs, missus, pubs. Big buildings, sell beer for profit. Pubs, that's right. Pubs. I went to a pub the other day. I did. I went to the pub the other day. I nearly died. I did. I nearly died. I did. Someone stabbed me in the throat. Well, they had to, missus. They had to. I was attacking them with a pickaxe, you see. I've gone slightly mad since the wife left. Bubble. Hey, come here. Shut that door, please yourselves. Nice to see you. Nice. Hey, lovely audience. Come here. I must go now. Before I do, I want to leave with my best impression, that of a clapped out stand-up comedian saying good night. Good night!
This is Damian Davidson, and I'm standing outside the home of Mr. Tom Stagley, the man at the centre of the controversy over the sale of nuclear technology to Pakistan. Now, at the moment, Mr. Stagley is declining to answer the telephone, and he's also not receiving any callers. But we're hoping... And I think this is Mr. Stagley just arriving now in his car. Hello, Mr. Stagley, I'm... Oh! Mr. Stagley, I'm Damian Davidson. And I was wondering if I could ask you what your reaction is to allegations that you've been selling... No! That you've been selling... Oh, bugger. And Mr. Stagley has locked my cameraman outside, and he's still declining to answer any questions, and so I'm going upstairs. Mr. Stagley, is it not the case that you've been communicating certain data regarding nuclear detonators to the Pakistan... And we've reached what appears to be Mr. Stagley's bedroom, and Mr. Stagley is destroying some documents. Phil, get in here. This is absolutely fantastic. Mr. Stagley is destroying documents before my very eyes. I can see the words top secret on something, and now he's gone to a cupboard and he is producing a baseball bat, which he is holding above it. Mr. Stagley, I must warn you, I'm not easily intimidated. I was at Bluffs Cove, and Mr. Stagley is striking me about the body, which is absolutely incredible. He's pursuing me across the house, and Phil, get in here! And Mr. Stagley has his hands about my throat. Mr. Stagley, is it not the case that you have your hands about? And he's forcing me into a small, dark room, and he's pushing me downwards. He's got my head, and he's forcing it down. Leaving without having commented on the allegations, and this is Damian Davidson, locked in the evasive Mr. Stagley's toilet. Phil?
And tonight on Who Dares Wins, it's time to meet our audience. Take a good look at them and ask yourself this question. How much would you give us for their addresses?
Yes, we'll forward to you or your company the addresses of all these high-spending individuals.
This one's a must for wine offers. He'll buy a mixed selection of Algerian Sauterne, Cypriot Chablis, any old crap. He'll drink anything. He's a drunk.
And what about this one? She'll buy specially limited editions of cheap china thimbles. She'll cough up for 16 yards worth of wall-to-wall Dickens, hand-tooled in plush leatherette. She'll buy anything, as long as it's worn by Lulu.
Yes, if you've got a mailing list, this can be yours for life. Well, during that last item, things have really started to hot up to happen here. Tim, you remember our young lad teetering on the brink of maturity? Well, he's finally started on the arduous road to manhood. Only seconds ago, his face broke out into beautiful blackheads and big yellow pustules. His voice decidedly croaked, and he expressed a desire to go to his room for a few quiet moments. So let's go and see how Tim's getting on and ask him a few questions. Tim, what does it feel like to have finally crossed the barrier between boy and man?
You got any contraceptives?
Adolescent there, well done, Tim.
Gives to keep your dressing room or break your face.
I'm another schoolboy, Jay, but fixing a manhood. It's number 108. As long as I can watch.
Whenever there's a tea break, a lunch break, a coffee break, whenever there's a break at all, we look around for young girls or old girls, just any girls, giving them our jolly workman's call. And we go cooey, hanging round the skip, going cooey, being vulgar and loud, cooey, harassing all the girls, but only ever when we're in a crowd. Sometimes we call out, hello, Dolly. Sometimes we make a gesture thus. We're only being friendly, just friendly, that's all it is. Christ knows why they always make a fuss. When we go cooey, it's just a little way to go cooey. So now don't take offence. Cooey. Get your knickers on, please. See deep down inside we're perfect gents.
It's bound to excite us, a bird with arthritis. Give us a kiss, cock your laughing gear and it's
Put a bag over his head, I wouldn't kick it out of bed.
she's dog rough. I put her in for crufts.
I think she fancies me, cause she told me to get stuffed when I went cooey.
Fully grown up men going cooey. Tell us what's wrong with that. Cooey. It's just a mating rule of any normal, well-adjusted prat.
You don't have to be a bird to walk, whistle while you work.
But it helps to be a thicko to go cooey. Cooey. Cooey.
Well, that's all for us. That's all from us, so many special thanks to our guest, Frank Sinatra.
And, of course, Tim, our adolescent boy.
And, of course, our master escapologist, Dan Roberts.
Yeah, big round of applause to Dan Roberts. What a great stunt that.
But, of course, the main thanks go to you, our studio audience. And, of course, we thank the audience at home. Bye.